Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Kaiser Report. I'm John, coming to you today with Kaiser on the couch. He's ready to get going, and we're going to do a little bit of a regular show for you today, and I apologize for the quick show yesterday from the car, but we had a ton of errands to run yesterday and some doctor's appointments and so on and so on. I won't bore you with the details. But today we'll talk to you about a lot of things that are going on inside the news and media and Congress and so on and so on. Some of it funny, some of it not so funny, such as the shootings yesterday that took place in Dallas against ICE. But it's no surprise that we have another shooter on a roof with a high-powered rifle, not knowing what to do with it, and hitting the wrong people in the first place. Not that anyone should have been hit. I'm not saying that should have happened. But there were no law enforcement people, but there were detainees inside a van. 2 were wounded, 1 died as a result of a misguided individual that ended up killing himself, like most of them do. And it's unbelievable that these things are taking place. And it's also unbelievable that Jimmy Kimmel comes back. And who does he have as a premier guest? Greasy-haired Gavin Newsom, who is anti-ICE and whipping up people to hate ICE. It doesn't take much when you have a mind that has been boggled by the nonsense that is propagated by our media today, and now propagated and driven by some elected officials that is sitting in very high places, whether it's a governorship or our Congress. There are people that are making the weak minds of this world aware that they can go out and do something about what they're hearing. And this, as we talked about many times, is rhetoric. Rhetoric that needs to be curtailed. Rhetoric that needs to be thought through before someone of that stature would get up in front of a camera and tell people to go after this individual or that individual or this race or that race, like Jasmine Crockett does all the time. She's had it with white people. She'll tell you that every time somebody puts a microphone in her face. Does it drive people to do bad things when they hear this? Yes, it can. Is that the total reason for all of this? Probably a large reason for it. However, the rhetoric needs to stop, and on both sides of the aisle. It's bull, what's going on. We have now a resurgence in this country that's going on around our college campuses and churches. People are going into church that haven't stepped foot in a church in years now. This is all good. These are the people we need to emulate and follow. We don't need to be driving hate, discontent, and division among any race or religion. This is our country. We need to protect it. This is what this administration is trying to do, to clean up the lawlessness that has taken places in some cities. Whether they're blue cities or red cities, and what the crime rates are and what the crime rates are being reported as, it makes no difference. Crime is crime. It's crime and punishment. What we left out of the equation for many years now has been the punishment end, the consequences for bad behavior, the consequences for taking another's life. I'm not a proponent in the death penalty, and I sure hope this Utah thing doesn't go there. Because taking another life doesn't bring back the life that they've extinguished. And it doesn't help anyone, whether it's the perpetrator's family or the family who lost somebody at the hands of this perpetrator. But there should be punishment. There should be forgiveness, as Charlie Kirk's wife did in her speech. Erica was a very, very strong woman to say what she said about forgiveness. We all need to forgive the faux pas of our administration right now. Everything that is said by this man is considered communistic, Nazism, dictatorship. These are all words that don't belong in our society. He's appointed people to look into the autism problem that we have in the United States today, and the amount and the numbers that are increasing yearly. And whether or not acetaminophen or Tylenol or any other product is at fault remains to be seen by the people, the educated people that are doing the research into these problems. Is it correlated? Is it related? Some say yes, and then, of course, you always have the other side that will have a different opinion, and they're entitled to that. But myself, I like to see the science attached to it. The people that were behind him when he made the statements he made the other day are educated people that are looking at the science. I know that most of the left-hand side and most of the right side of the aisles do not like RFK Jr. Is this a reason to just totally disregard what they've come up with to date with regard to acetaminophen or any other type of frequency of different vaccines that are given to children so they can go to school and meet the requirements laid out by our health departments, whether it's federal or state. There are different requirements for different vaccines to get your child into a school. We know that. But the frequency of it in giving a child what they said the other day, all the vaccines at once may be a problem. And acetaminophen on its own labels, if you take the time to look at the label, it says not recommended for pregnant people. May be contraindicated. This is why we have doctors, and whether or not our doctors are as well educated as they were when we were youths, people my age, we had real doctors then that that knew a lot more than what I believe is going on today. But to have women go out and take handfuls of acetaminophen while pregnant and TikTok it to make you believe that it's all against our president, it's all against Donald Trump, and put their unborn child at risk, not knowing, other than what maybe somebody on mainstream media told them, oh, don't listen to that, it's okay. Go ahead and take it. These fools are flooding the airways right now in social media, taking handfuls of this while pregnant. What is wrong with you that you would take that risk? Let's take a look here.
Yesterday.
This morning, medical groups are criticizing President Trump after he urged pregnant women to stop taking Tylenol, claiming it could lead to a higher risk for autism.
Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. If you just can't, it's fight like hell not to take it.
Trump claiming the active ingredient in Tylenol, acetaminophen, is tied to a rise in autism cases. The administration saying it will now advise doctors to prescribe Tylenol only in cases where a high fever would pose a risk to the fetus.
That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that.
But many doctors worry the administration's announcement will make pregnant women hesitate to treat a fever.
Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. If you just can't, I mean, it's fight like hell not to take it.
That sounds like a challenge.
There's apparently pregnant women on the internet bragging about taking Tylenol. You can see her there. Multiple bottles. There are a lot of these videos. She is not alone. We could show them to you for the next 25 minutes till the show was over. Dr. Ashish Jha, Dean of the Brown University School of Public Health, former White House COVID-19 response coordinator, is with us.
Look at you go!
Probably not a good idea to be downing Tylenol just to own the president, right?
Yeah. First of all, Leland, thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
No, look, you should take Tylenol if you have a fever, if you have pain. Talk to your doctor first. You shouldn't do things to own the president or for any political purpose. It's just not a good idea.
28 weeks pregnant. You know what I'm going to take? Some Tylenol, acetaminophen. It's going to work like a charm, and my baby won't have autism.
Just drink, because this might be our last chance.
Thumbs up. I don't know about you guys, and I don't know why this is happening, but I actually feel a lot better.
Well, you look better.
Every morning, Gloria now adds bleach to her bathwater.
Every time I take a shower or a bath, I have to use bleach. I have to use it.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I laugh.
It's hard to believe that someone would play Russian roulette with a gun loaded with 5 bullets of acetaminophen just to show you that they don't like Donald Trump. You want to talk about Trump derangement syndrome? There it is. These people are so stupid that whole segment should have been in Stupid Town, but we've got so much going in there today, we don't have room for it. That's the amount of craziness that's going on in this country today. It's hard to believe that people would do what you had just seen happen because of hatred of a president. Who tells them that this is going to make a difference? That's like saying to the circus, I'll buy a ticket and I won't go in. How does that sit with you? It's crazy. But then again, let's look at ABC. You want to talk about crazy? I'm convinced that this whole Kimmel thing, it was taken off the air to cause all of this upset and then put him back on so they get better ratings. And no apology at all. No, I'm sorry. The snake has slithered back in. And, people like Roseanne Barr are asking the question, how come I didn't get put back in? My ratings were through the roof, and they let her go because of an incident that they felt was not kind to somebody. But when The View looks at things on the left side and the right side, they have different reactions. They react differently. Their guests are brought on to make different opinions on the same problem. How does that work out? Let's just take a look.
I do think, Roseanne also tweeted, I stand up, I spent my whole life fighting racism, and I can't believe this is happening over one tweet. Well, this wasn't just one tweet for Roseanne. She has a history of tweeting things that are inappropriate. In fact, she compared Susan Rice, another black Obama official, to an ape in 2013. And the comparison of black women and black men to apes is an ages-old racist trope that has been used to demonize us, to dehumanize us. And I think when you cross that kind of societal norm, you must pay the consequence. And firing her was the right thing to do. I'm thrilled that ABC did it.
Did y'all really think we weren't going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel? I mean, have you watched the show over the last 29 seasons? Yes. So no one silences us.
Freedom of speech undergirds our democracy. And our founders were very, very clear on that. Our founders drafted the First Amendment specifically to protect the rights of citizens to criticize the government. Thomas Jefferson, in particular, said the citizens must be able to criticize public officials because, quote, they will try to impose their own opinions and modes of thinking on others, end quote.
Wow.
And the comparison of black women and black men to apes is an ages-old racist trope that has been used to demonize us, to dehumanize us. And I think when you cross that kind of societal norm, you must pay the consequence. And firing her was the right thing to do. Freedom of speech undergirds our democracy. And our founders were very, very clear on that.
This is a show that ABC and Disney should think long and hard about leaving on the air. These people are damaging. These are the people who would make a woman take a handful of Tylenol and TikTok it. This is the stupidity of that program, and that's why you'll often see it here in our exit to Stupid Town. Then they bring on Kamala Harris, who just can't figure out how to be presidential. She's the furthest thing from it. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just watch The View. I'll show you here in a minute. She can't figure out. It's only because she only had $1.5 billion and spent it in 107 days. That didn't enter into her book on how it was spent, whose pockets that enriched. And all the time without a platform, without a program, without a solution to any problem, or telling the voting public what I can do to make this country better. She hung her entire 107 days on rhetoric from a president that was not all there. And now she wants to throw him under the bus along with Tampon Tim and blame everyone for her own mistake of not being able to sit in an interview and answer the hard questions that would be put forth to a person running for president of these United States. It was word salad after word salad, repeat after repeat, but nothing of substance ever came out of Kamala Harris during her 107-day run for what she thought was a shoo-in presidency. Because now she says it has nothing to do with color or any other ethnic deal. You can't believe what this woman says, or she needs to find somebody to re-script what her talking points really are, because they're not intelligible. Take a look.
Wherever you go now?
Well, you know, a lot of people are coming up to me crying, actually.
Crying, yeah. I would be crying.
Yeah, but that was
just me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, it's
Hi, guys.
hey,
Hi.
you know,
Hi.
this is just wild to have you here today.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful to see you.
It's good to be with you guys. Thank you.
Because
Thank
it's
you.
been almost a year since the election.
Yes.
We're going to get into everything that's been going on since. You look good.
Thank you. That's very kind. Getting some sleep these days.
How are you?
I am well. Thank you for asking. I am well. I feel very blessed. My family is well. And, you know, in spite of everything that's happening in the world, I don't have any complaints.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
You know?
Well, let me take you back a little bit. There seemed to be so much momentum after President Biden stepped aside. There was a renewed sense of hope for Democrats, honestly, for everyone. It felt like there was this great option. Money was pouring into the tune of $1 billion. There were huge crowds at your events. And then election night came.
Yeah.
And it was 2016 all over again. And there's even a picture in the book that shows you and your husband when it appeared things weren't going quite the way maybe many of us had thought. What was going through your mind as the results came in?
So that chapter in the book was probably one of the most difficult things that I had to reflect on and write about. In fact, Doug and I, my husband, it wasn't until I was writing that chapter that we had ever talked about election night.
Oh.
We had never talked about election night.
It felt traumatic?
It was that traumatic. We had never talked about election night. So I'm writing it and I'm thinking about it. And, you know, and there were a number of people who I could kind of like, what was your, you know, like the different perspectives of a moment. And that's when Doug told me that he had been out campaigning with my brother-in-law in Pennsylvania, and we met back up in D.C. And I remember him being a little out of sorts, but there was so much happening. But on his way back from a rally where there was an incredible amount of enthusiasm, people on the ground were like, we got it, we're going to do this. And then they talked with a mutual friend of ours who was over at Fox News in the war room, who had been hearing about data that suggested things were not looking great in Pennsylvania. And the way I write about it, I mean, my poor husband, so he didn't want to put that on me. He went upstairs and he basically went in the shower and prayed that it was not going to be a bad night. And it was, you know, my family was there, everybody was there. I've always on election night done family and friends and dinner. But that night, I grieved in a way that I have not since my mother died. And it was, the pain was, it was not at all about losing a race. I knew what it was going to mean for the country. I was going to say for the family. And that's how I felt, for the country.
We all agreed.
I knew what it was going to mean, but I knew.
Yeah.
And and all I could say over and over again is, my God, my God, my God. It was very difficult. I mean, I know many people experienced it in different ways, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I was at that Philadelphia rally the night before, and I was sitting behind your husband, Doug, and Maya and your family. And I remember hugging them and them telling me, we got this. I felt.
It's hard to believe that we dodged a bullet as we have in not electing her to any office, and should not even consider, if she takes another stab at this and spends another $1.5 billion on people like Beyonce and Oprah Winfrey, and I don't want to get to the rest of the list, but it is disgusting. And what's even more disgusting is she's out there talking about a book that she probably doesn't or hasn't read herself. I don't believe that she knows what's in the book. But it's everyone else's fault, and not Kamala and Dougie. No, not them at all. And that'll bring us into our segment called What Does It All Mean? Give you a brief look at what's gone on in the last week or two and enlighten you, and in some cases, give you a little chuckle here and there. So let's take a look at what does it all mean.
I had a friend, she came out to me and she was like, isn't it crazy that free speech is gone? I'm like, you supported every guy getting kicked off of everything for 10 years. It feels like a friend that was like an alcoholic for 8 years and just a menace, then coming back to the party after 1 day sober and being like, you guys need to get your life together. And you're like, what? You're like, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Pokemon. In a world we must defend, Pokemon.
I hope you got a little bit of a smile out of that. I certainly did. And that'll take us into talking about our sponsor here. Lazy J Farms and Butcher Shop is a wonderful place if you're looking to stock your freezer with some great meat. The blonde Aquitaine cattle that they have and serve up there for your enjoyment is the best tasting beef you've ever tasted. It is a rare cattle that is raised here in East Tennessee, and you can get whatever cut you want. If you are so inclined to call in there on Wednesday and do not live where you can pick something up, they will ship it to your door in the continental United States overnight. And you can get a box, a sampler box. They have great pork products that are raised on that same farm. Their chicken products are to die for. You can't get a plumper, better chicken than any grocery store. Their Chicago-style hot dogs, all beef, no fillers, no junk added into it. They grill up beautifully. Give Butch a call down there in Kingsport, Tennessee, and tell him Kaiser sent you. And he'll cut any size meat you want, or they have sample boxes they can ship to your door, or you can just call up and say, I need 5 8-ounce fillets for a party, and he'll get them out to you, or you can pick them up right there on Bloomingdale Road in Kingsport, Tennessee, on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you want special cuts, call in there on Wednesday at the number you see here below. And they'll get it cut for you in whatever thickness you want. I like my T-bone steaks cut at about 1 3/4 inches, and they're beautiful steaks. Give them a try, and don't forget to tell them Kaiser sent you. So we've had a look at what it all means, and now we need to take a satirical look at what news media has become. Now, this is not a real news program. It is meant to put a smile on your face and to jog your awareness of what is taking place in mainstream media today and what we're inundated with, what your children are inundated with. And we'll talk about your children here in a little bit. But let's take a lighthearted look at what news really is portraying to the mainstream public of the United States right here.
So I can't say male loser anymore. Good evening. This is white liberal news. We never let the facts get in the way of our truth. I say loser, they'll change it to reporter. But here he is with a story in the field.
Thanks, Karen. As you can see by the pile of bricks behind me, I'm pretty early for the peaceful protest. But my sources tell me the bus should be here shortly. Back to you, Karen.
This is against my freedom of speech, which means all of democracy is at stake. I can't say we go to our male loser in the field. No motive could be found why a Latinx man with a girlfriend who has a penis shot up a local Democrat politician's house, but we will say he's MAGA. Our orange dictator created the Memphis Safe Task Force to terrorize our democracy. To see why crime in Memphis is a good thing, we go to our black-hired Dean Visha.
Girl, Memphis is too dangerous to be outside with all this camera equipment. I'm at my auntie's.
Part of the job is pushing the narrative that black people condone violence in their communities. It's what helps liberals feel superior.
Okay, Karen, I'll get right on that.
So we can't fire her without the race card being pulled? Who made these rules? A DNA test showed me I am as Native American as Elizabeth Warren. So sometimes I will display my cultural pride and drop the race card when convenient. Okay, the bus of protesters arrived recently. We're going back to our male, you know what he is, in the field.
Thanks for taking the time for this interview. May I ask your pronouns and your talking points for the protest today?
Obviously, my pronouns are she/her. I mean, look at me, but don't look at me, loser.
I'm really not sure about this one, but I know I'm fully dedicated to being pro or anti whatever the issue is.
I like her. She seems uninformed, so I'm sure she's a loyal liberal viewer. Can you ask her what international policies should be changed to make her feel better?
Eyes down. Don't look at me in the eye. It's a microaggression.
I like her. I like her a lot.
Karen, the young, intelligent woman we talked to today reminds me a lot of you and your strong personality.
Is that like a personal attack or something? You shouldn't compare women's looks.
No,
That's
I didn't.
misogyny.
No, I didn't. I was talking about you.
This is probably why your wife left you.
Back to you, Karen.
Yeah, back to me. Anyway, on to our interview with the first totally black woman Democrat candidate for president who talks about her new book.
Karen, I only had 107 days to spend over $1 billion. Do you know how creative someone has to be to give that much money to people so quickly? It's like that movie.
You've been attacking other politicians, which aligns with the Unity Party, but won't this hurt their efforts to get democracy back, to attack parents paying attention to schools?
What's the movie, though? It has Richard Pryor in it.
Obviously, I need to find some keys to jingle for you. Tim Waltz. I don't like him either. Can you address what you wrote about him in your book?
Karen, the thing we need to remember about the book and about remembering what was in the book is that books are for memories as much as they are for remembering.
Thanks for your time, I guess. We know the only reason you lost is because the country is racist and sexist, but hopefully you can run again in a few years when the country isn't racist and sexist.
Thanks for joining us. Watch next time when we discuss why only holding white men to a standard is somehow better than holding everyone to the same standard.
I'm hoping you got a chuckle out of that because I certainly did. And unfortunately, although it's a satirical look at the news, this is the news. This is what they do. This is what they call themselves journalists, get away with. in indoctrinating the public to think one way or another. That's not what the media should be doing. The news should be reported as it happens, of course, sans the opinions of idiots. And boy, MSNBC, CNN, and the like, and the three major networks have their share of idiots on there with opinions that should never be aired. Programs such as the late night programs that shouldn't be aired. Not in the fashion that they're doing it. If you want to call it a comedy show or really interview certain people, it should be people from both sides of thinking, not just one. But yet this is what we have become. Our media has become an arm of a party, whether it's Fox on the right side or NBC on the left side. It's happening. We know it. We sat for 4 years of a total media blackout of what our president was suffering from. The fact that he was not an active, participating president of these United States. They covered it up, and when they got caught, they wrote books about, I didn't know. No one told us. They're there every day. They listen to Kareem Jean-Pierre rattle on about how great a president that she worked for. And now she's caught in her own lies. The entire Biden administration was a lie. And we all had to suffer through it until we had our answer last November. And now they're hell-bent on destroying this administration, which has done more in 9 months than the Biden administration even thought about in 4 years. This goes trailing all the way back to the Bushes, folks. With one reprieve, the 4 years that Donald Trump came in and disrupted things that they never got over. The disruption is ever present right now in trying to fix everything that they've messed up for the last 10 years. And yet, the left will not give this man a break. They tried to impeach him twice in his first term, disrupted the good work that was being done in his first term, and now are fighting tooth and nail against disrupting what could be a great resurgence for this country if he's left alone to do the work that he's trying to do. But people like Chuck Schumer will come out and lie and continually lie to the American people, bold-faced, about what they want to do. Schumer is going to shut down this government. He is going to cause the loss of a lot of jobs. He is going to cause much harm to our republic, all for the sake of putting trillions of dollars back into PBS, back into social programs and Obamacare that is a failed method of health care in the United States. But he's more worried about giving an illegal immigrant health care than he is about the increase in new business, the lowering of taxes, and the help that the middle class of this country needs. These Democratic elites that are fighting against getting the programs done and the continuing revolution that has been approved and sent to the Senate and approved for the president's signature is being hampered. and the government shutdown, if it does come, which is looking very much like it will, it falls and sits on the shoulders of Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck the Clown Schumer. Take a look here.
He cries on cue, he fakes the fight, then sells you out in broad daylight. A swamp rat wrapped in a Gucci fit. Welcome to crying Chuck's greatest.
Instead of working to get relief for the American people, it's reckless. If he thinks that's radical, then it's no wonder Donald Trump is turning. Sorry. If Donald Trump thinks that's radical, it's no wonder the American people are turning against his agenda.
English is his first language.
When they get notification that their health care bills are going to go up $400 a month.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
Stop ranting.
A few moments later.
You know, it slashed our Medicare. It made because it didn't renew the ACA. That went up. It's slashed medical research.
Huh?
Thank you, everybody. A happy new year to those who might be, to everybody. I prayed for everybody in synagogue this morning.
Well, yes, he canceled his meeting with those two idiots, and I understand why. We're not putting trillions of dollars right back into the coffers of silly things to fund with our tax dollars when we have John Q. Public out there struggling. You can clearly see that they're fighting against you and I having a better life. So they can, the elites that they are, can continue to take care of people so they'll vote for them. That's what it's all about. That's what politicians do. This is why we should never elect a career politician ever again. When we learn that, then we can stop taking the exit to stupid town. Right here.
If you don't like this country, then leave. Okay. Send me the check.
What's your name again? Eduarda Scissorface?
Found out today that somebody that I work with is a conservative, and he's somebody who's really intelligent, and he's somebody who works in climate tech as a super smart guy, somebody I would never have thought was conservative, and apparently he is. And it's surprising, and it's disgusting. But what's most surprising to me is the level of sudden hatred that I have for him. Sudden hatred for this man who I used to respect suddenly just went boop, and I hate him now.
Just register Republican. Just register Republican. You're a blue dot in a red area. Just register Republican. Then you get a say in who gets to be their primary candidate. Register Republican. Just register Republican. It doesn't matter. You can go online. That little card doesn't make a difference. It doesn't actually mean anything. You can just register Republican. Let's all just register Republican. We can all register Republican. What will happen if the Republican Party and the MAGA Party all starts getting crazy leftist LGBTQ folk and we can all just register Republican? There's nothing stopping them. They're going to round up all the leftists and the Democrats. We can all just register Republican. It's all fake anyway. It's all made up. Register Republican. You can vote for whoever you want in the general elections, but in the primaries, you would have a voice in a less crazy candidate, maybe making it to the last stage of the game here. Just register Republican. Just do it. Just register Republican. Nobody's gonna stop you. You can do anything you want.
I just have a question. How do I stop crying every day? I just saw a video where they're using social media and they're going to go around and they're going to arrest everybody that has been posting videos against the current administration.
for anyone who believes that we are crazy and delusional. In some timelines, Trump did win. In others, Kamala did. And in the one we are anchored in, this experience is being remembered like a psychic echo, proof of the multiverse's existence beneath the surface.
I miss who I was before Donald Trump came into power. It's hard enough being a human, an adult, a woman, a mother, but waking up every day with this sense of dread and rage. I miss the person I used to be. I miss the country I thought we were.
People are accusing President Trump of stealing their sanity. But I say, how could you steal something that never existed in the first place? The devil.
Honey, I'm an intelligent person with empathy living in America. I'm already there.
It's only been 160 days. I found that out today. Only 160 days. And that really kind of ruined my day.
Yeah, wait until he wins the 2028 election.
I guess I didn't put on real clothes, and I don't feel much like celebrating because the country's on fire, literally, metaphorically, emotionally. But you know what? I did put on red cabbage lipstick because if the empire is crumbling, I'm going down weird and accessorized.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this segment of Stupid Town today. There were a lot of laughs and a lot of sadness there if you stop and think about some of the nonsense that's taken place in and around our country anymore. It's quite amusing in some segments, but very sad in others. And Kaiser and I, we want to wish you a very, very happy rest of this Thursday. And I'm hoping that people stop the rhetoric that is causing unbalanced individuals to take a gun and go on a roof somewhere. And it should not happen. It should never happen in this country. But the good news is, and the good word is, if you looked at what took place in Virginia Tech just yesterday, the gathering of people in the name of Charlie Kirk, in the name of God, and praise Jesus that things are coming back to a religious outlook that this country was built on. We are trusting God again. We have to trust God to help us through this situation that we're in right now. We have to trust God that the blessings will come upon our president and let him do what he has to do to make this country better again, to make this country healthier again, to make this country wealthier again. It's all happening if we just sit back and take a moment, a deep breath, and let it run its course. We'll all be better off for it. God's back, and the minions of demons that were sent in to influence our society are being sent back with the message that we believe in the one true God, the King of Kings, that is back in this country right now as a result of the loss of a good individual. But it's shined a light on all that is good in this country and the good people in this country that are coming back to understanding that a godless nation is a lost nation, and we're no longer lost. We're not crying in the wilderness. The left and the demons are now crying in the wilderness because the light has been shone upon exactly what's happened in this country in the last 10 years and what the absence of Christ in this country can bring. It's not good. But we're back on track one more time. We're all children of God. We all need to understand that love is better than hate, and it will bring us closer together. It doesn't matter where you came from, where your ancestors came from, or what your beliefs are with regard to religion. This country was built on trust in God, and we're back. And we're back bigger, and we're back better. And until tomorrow, we're going to ask you to stay safe, stay strong in everything, including your faith. And stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more laughs and some information and a cleanup of some of the news that you see on mainstream media. And until tomorrow, bye-bye. God bless you all. We'll see you back here on Friday.